whatever the case is. He called me back right after, which I wasn't. No, he called me back again. I was still on the meeting. I'm wondering, like, why is Kodak calling me early in the morning? Then he calls me again. I was off, and we talked. So really, which is so funny, and this is why, like, this is one of the things I was even saying to Meek is like, yo, if Meek and me talk as men, and like if we had communicated as men, like our issues would never get to the point that they did, where we have to have somebody on the phone doing some big squashing. You get me? Because you would realize on both sides, like, number one, like Kodak don't hate me. Number two, I don't dislike or have anything against him. And if anything, we identify and understand each
family. That man Akademiks put himself in a scenario, in a situation where it kind of took him a little bit by surprise in what he was into. It basically, he spoke on the situation with Kodak Black, and Kodak Black didn't like it. Kodak Black said something, but before Kodak Black said something, he kind of, he did phone calls and Ak didn't pick up, but Ak had an excuse for that. I mean, I ain't nobody's lawyer. I'm about to let you listen to the Ak and what he had to say about him and Kodak's little fallout, and we'll get to it from that. You dig what I'm saying? But in the meantime, I need y'all to hit that like button, hit that notification bell, and come rock out with Ismokehiphop Live. Salute, gang.
So yo, Kodak this early. Hey yo, chat. Real quick, Kodak Black. I seen some people pointed out, they've sent videos and say, yo, Kodak dissed you, blah blah blah. So I feel like I can tell the whole story. First of all, me and Kodak, we speak on the phone, so like, we're pretty not only cordial, but like, we talk a bunch. He sent me a bunch of unreleased stuff that obviously, out of respect for him, I wouldn't even play on here, right? Just because, like, it's gonna come on future projects, he keep me updated, type of stuff, and he showed some respect to me too, right? So anyway, today TMZ puts up the story, and it was like, yo, Kodak Black, like, his judge is gonna allow him to go to somewhere, despite him, like, having like a dirty piss. Like, I think I was on a like that. He calls my phone, right? And it's one of those things where, it's kind of like, I think in the moment where he just wanted to be like, damn, Ak, why'd you post that, right? Which, by the way, I'm going to give you the whole thing of why he was asking, because, being friends with rappers, you never want them to start policing your platform in terms of don't post nothing, like, whatever, like, don't post nothing, like, negative about me or whatever, because, like, listen, bruh, I'm not your PR, I'm the media. Now, of course, like, if we're cool, you always get to get your side and you respond, and like, it's gonna benefit you if you could play the game as well, in terms of, being able to quote unquote respond or help whatever narrative you're hoping to achieve. Anyway, he was upset, so I think he went on live. He was like, damn, man, this thing ain't answering his phone, blah blah, man, yo, man, fuck this thing, blah blah blah, whatever the case is. He called me back right after, which I wasn't. No, he called me back again. I was still on the meeting. I'm wondering, like, why is Kodak calling me early in the morning? Then he calls me again. I was off, and we talked. So really, which is so funny, and this is why, like, this is one of the things I was even saying to Meek is like, yo, if Meek and me talk as men, and like if we had communicated as men, like our issues would never get to the point that they did, where we have to have somebody on the phone doing some big squashing. You get me? Because you would realize on both sides, like, number one, like Kodak don't hate me. Number two, I don't dislike or have anything against him. And if anything, we identify and understand each other at a different level. So I'll tell you the conversation. So Kodak called and be like, yo, damn, Ak. He was like, Ak, why would you even post that shit? Like, yo, TMZ reported blah blah. And he's like, yo, remember I told you that shit was, I told you about that shit already. That shit is old. Like, I wasn't even really trying to get that shit to come out like that. Like, you know what I mean? And I was like, yo, Kodak, I don't know if you remember, like, you actually just said it on the interview. And he was like, wait. Oh, yeah. But even then, he was like, oh, shit, I know. He's like, yeah. I said on the interview, but he was like, yo, they're just trying to, it was like, TMZ just trying to rehash some old shit. It was like, yo, I had one dirty piss. That was from a long time ago. It's not no new current shit. You know what I mean? And, you know, they're posting it and rehashing it again to kind of like drive home a narrative like I'm some fucking degenerate drug users when, you know, like, you know the real situation. So I even told him, I said, yo, Kodak, you're right. And by the way, when I read the TMZ thing, I didn't even realize it was old. So I told him, I said, yeah, I didn't realize it was old, number one. But number two, I said, yo, Kodak, you gotta understand, like, it's not, you can't look at that as a bad thing. I'm like, yo, bro, you came on even my podcast and you admitted your drug issues. Like, anybody who's gonna be clowning you, even if you had a relapse, like, that's corny. Like, a lot of people have drug issues. You manned up, you admitted your drug situation. I'm glad that's not some new shit, because if it was some new shit now, you feel like, yo, it's being kind of counterproductive and like he's just on some fiend, like, you know, Famous Dex shit in a way, you know what I mean? Not to disrespect Famous Dex. But he was like, yeah, like, and I told him, I'm like, yo, Kodak, what you do, you gotta share these issues like publicly, because you helping people. I really think that Kodak being honest about it, and he agreed. He was like, yo, you're right. Like, if somebody do judge me over that shit, that's being weird. That's you know what I mean? I'm glad him clarifying to me. It's like, this is not new. They're just trying to rehash it because Rolling Loud is coming up this week. So Rolling Loud's coming up this week, so they ran the same story twice. And I think he was a little bit embarrassed by the fact that people were kind of reading about drug shit with him, not realizing, number one, he admitted it before. Number two, I just don't think that is something you should be clowning Kodak Black about when he's admitted it and he's saying he's trying to get help. It's different than other rappers. Yes, it's different than other rappers who will sit and lie to you and be like, oh, I don't got no problem with drugs. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it took a while for Famous Dex, no disrespect to him, to get into rehab. Because at first, when people say, hey, I don't think something's going on there, like, yo, we should get him help. Remember, I said a couple times, I'm like, yo, I'm not interested in Famous Dex music. I want Famous Dex to get help. Famous Dex used to, like, lash out at me, like, fuck Ack, you know what I mean, blah, blah. But when he got sent to rehab, you know, and people were like, damn, shit. Maybe he wasn't, you know, we can say whatever about Ack, but at least he was trying to say the right thing. So to see that Kodak has admitted to, you know, having some substance abuse problems and he's trying to get help, man, me being someone who, you know, I'm in the position where I could communicate with him, I want to salute him, number one. You know, I want to salute his progress, because for him, you know, and you got to realize, this is somebody who's going through rehab. For me, like, he was definitely just, he was like, Act, this shit is not new. And, you know, obviously he's trying to go through his phase of sobriety. So, like, I don't know if anyone's ever been to rehab, AA meetings, or any type of means to cope with any type of addiction. Those people who usually go through that, they celebrate every day they're clean. So for him, it was a little bit triggering of, you know, like, people thinking that he's back dirty or back on some shit when he's still being clean. So, you know, for whatever he said about me, you know what I mean? Of course, the blogs that don't like me, they're gonna run that. But listen, it's all love. Me and Kodak, we talked. You know, that's my guy. You know what I mean? And again, the bigger picture here ain't about me and him, right or wrong, or who said what and who said this. I thought it was brave that he shared his issues with the world. I thought it was brave that, yo, he checked himself in a rehab. I thought it was brave that, you know, he's trying to battle it while people are going to look at every little thing he does and trying to either say he's back on some shit or trying to, like, ridicule it. You know what I mean? I think that was brave. So, salute to Kodak Black. And, you know, there's certain times where, like, your ego got to chill. Because you know me, when rappers say something, I be taking...
Like, they shit on Kodak Black for literally trying to be off drugs while other rappers promote literally being hurt.
And also admitting it. There's so many rappers who just deny it.
True.
There's so much rappers who just denied and lie. You know what I mean? Like, They either just do it in hiding, but you could see it affect them. You see when they show up to interviews. You see when they do other things. That motherfucker like has admitted it. He's going through it, and if hip hop cares about it, like imagine if Juice WRLD, which he kind of did. Juice WRLD came out and said, "Yo, like I'm trying to get help with this issue I got, bro." Like imagine if fans were like just clowning him or just whatever. Like, bro, that would definitely take a toll on the motherfucker. So, I want to, like, if I can, I want to support somebody, but also show that if you share your problems publicly, we ain't finna come at you in a way, especially if you're trying to get help, a way to clown you. You know what I mean?
Something right in there. And during that second meeting or second time you met him, was it also at 3420 Slauson Avenue in front of his shop, or was it some other place? No, it was right there.